Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 136 of Sonic Boom TV. Back to my normal self here. I'm no longer Chris Profey from the previous video. This is a thrift store finds video, and it's kind of a lot because I haven't done one in a while. Just let stuff build up. I've been kind of very selective of going to get stuff because, you know, money was a little tight, still is, but I just kind of let it build up over a while, and now it's a lot of stuff that I just need to get off my floor, so I got to do a video about it. First things first, went to the Dollar Tree, and I paid a little too much for this, but I wanted to try it, so I found this. It's a COS collapsible basket. Now, I'm not going to open this one, but I bought two of them. They were $3 at the Dollar Tree. But they're kind of cheaply made, but they work out to fold up into this. And this works perfect for some 7-inch records. Now, I would advise, if you do buy these, plan on putting this somewhere where you're not going to move it, because this stuff is going to break. It's flimsily made. These little whatever you want to call these brackets or whatever, they're very thin, so I'm assuming they will break if you pick it up and you hear it cracky. But if you just need something to hold some 7-inch records, this will work. You know, but I wouldn't suggest picking it up and moving it around too much, because I think it's going to break. But if you're in a bind like I was, because I have these which don't even have sleeves on them yet, because I don't have any sleeves. And I don't know how well they'll fit. But I have another, probably at least as much to go through this, and maybe into the second one, completely full of 7-inch records that I don't really collect them. I just get them now and then, and I had a bunch that was inherited. So that's that for that first part. Now, speaking of 7-inch records, I was at the where was I? Salvation Army. I came across this, and I had to get it because it's called Old Fatso by Augie Rios. Don't know who Augie Rios is. But then the other side of it is Donde está Santa Claus? So that would be in Spanish, I guess. I haven't listened to this yet, but you know, you got to have a song called Old Fatso, right? It's pretty good condition. It looks a little scuffed up, but it'll probably play. Then, as I was there, I came across these other ones, and they were in plastic bags. Somebody must have thought they were valuable, but just didn't know how to make them whatever. So we've got Oh What a Feeling and something else. I don't know. I'm trying to get it out of this bag. This is going to be a long episode, by the way, guys. So if you're not in for the long haul, just turn me off. Till I Kissed You by the Everly Brothers. I think this one has a little value to it. This had somebody's name sticker on it. Annie Allison. I don't know. She may not be with us anymore. Oops. Eventually these will get a cleaning and a listen. I bought that one because I know the Everly Brothers, and it was in good shape. Then the next one, Just Like a Woman by Roberta Flack, another one that I knew the name of, and Killing Me Softly with His Song, which we know that song, right? It's been covered several times by different people, and that's also Roberta Flack. And I don't know if she's the original person or not to record that. And then finally, I found this, and I thought it was kind of interesting, just because of what it was, not that it was anything great or important, but the Scholastic Records 1973 Scholastic Magazines incorporated Rumpelstiltskin, a fairy tale retold by Edith H. Tarkov. And it's got the sleeve. It's banged up, of course. The record itself is in great condition. It's no scratches on it or anything. It's dirty though. It needs to be cleaned. But narrated by Hamid Hamilton Camp and Julie Grobart. Music composed by Hamid Hamilton Camp. Directed by Bernice Chardier. Produced by Robert Mack. So, you know, story of Rumpelstiltskin, I guess. So that was the 7-inch stuff that I got, and thankfully I didn't get any more. I could have gotten a lot more because they had a lot of stuff, and it was in decent condition. It's just I don't want to build that collection up. It's not something I need to do. So then we'll move into. Well, let's talk about something else first. In my heavy metal video, I believe that my first one when I did the cassettes. I will do the CDs soon, I promise. I know some people are waiting for that, but this hasn't happened. But I did find my Junkyard cassette yesterday. I can't find this one on Discogs for some reason. It's a BMG or Columbia House, one of them. BMG, but this one is not on there. There's a Canadian one, but not the American one. But that goes with this right here, Junkyard. That's my original cassette that I've always had. And then I came across this, it was like 30 seconds after that video that I said I couldn't find this cassette. If you could see where this camera is, the phone, it directly a foot behind it, at maybe 2. South Gang, Tainted Angel. I immediately went and listened to it, and the tape drags on the hit song, which on song number 1 on side 2, Tainted Angel. It kind of drags at the beginning, so I don't know what happened to it. That must have happened 30 years ago, because I did have some tapes that had problems. My tape player was eating up things, and luckily it was mostly just cassettes that you buy from the store to record on, not actual official things. So, but I guess this one must have got hung up or something at some point. So that's disappointing. I would have to find this on cassette. CD or something. I'd probably never find it on cassette again. I won't even be looking, most likely. But that was up here a couple times. It was over here, and I didn't know if anybody noticed it or not on a couple of my older videos. But so that's that. Still haven't found the Kiss Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. But this one was funny because I have a bin in my room that just got junk in it. And last night it just fell for some reason, and everything that was in the box went all over the floor. And about 8 tapes popped out of it that I didn't even know were in there, and that was one of them. The other ones were like some singles. I had the Warrant I Saw Red video. I keep saying the wrong thing. Cassette single. Anyway, so I went to Goodwill, and I went. I don't even know where I got all these. I just know these first couple I got from Goodwill for $1.99. Let's start. I got the Tea Party Triptych, kind of a heavy alternative band. I believe this is a Canadian pressing as well. Got that one from Goodwill. Made the mistake of thinking that this was Hanoi Rocks for some reason in my head, but it was really Roxy Music. And I don't know the best of Roxy Music. And I don't know why I thought it was Hanoi Rocks, and I don't know anything about Roxy Music either. I know people like them, but I don't know anything about them. I don't know what kind of music it is or anything. But when I picked this up, this CD fell out of, I think, this thing. I don't know. But this CD is the Roadrunner Records Music to Burn By. And it's a compilation album that has... it doesn't have the real cover, and I don't know if it was in there, but I stuck it back in there because I figured if they put it in there, that was what was included in my thing. So, but it's just the Roadrunner Records. I put it in this plastic case because it was just loose. But it's got Soulfly, Murder Dolls, Stone Sour, Killswitch Engage, 36 Crazy Fist, Cold Chamber, 5.0, Down the Sun, Killswitch Engage again, 36 Crazy Fist again, Cinch, Il Nino, 5.0 again, and Fear Factory. So this is kind of a industrial metal kind of thing. Pretty cool, I guess. And then the last one I got there, Japan I don't really care too much about, but if I see something cheap enough, I'll get it. Boston's Walk On CD. This is a BMG version. Then I here's another one. Oh, Our Lady Peace. I'm sorry, this is another one that was in that set, so it might have fell out of this one. Our Lady Peace. Happiness is a fish you can. Happiness is not a fish that you can eat. Weird thing is, I thought I had more Our Lady Peace albums, but it turns out I only had their Clumsy album on CD, and I got it on vinyl not too long ago, the reissue. But I thought I had the first one, Navid, and I thought I had this one, but I didn't. So Navid, I had some of the songs. I think it must have been during the Napster days where I had part of the album and I never did get the whole thing, because usually that's what I would do. I'd download a couple songs. If I liked them, I'd go out and buy it. So yeah, I was stealing from the record company or whatever at the time, but I also went and bought most of the stuff I downloaded. So it, it worked out in the end for them. These two came from the I'm losing my mind here, guys. I can't think. The Salvation Army. I believe they were on sale. I think they were 50 cents. Maybe they were either $1 or 50 cents. But the B-52s, Cosmic Thing. Now, I don't really like the B-52s that much. I thought I only knew 3 songs: Rock Lobster, Rome, and Love Shack. Turns out I know 4 songs, because I also knew something else. Deadbeat Club on this one. So I knew 4 songs, and those are the only 4 songs I really like that I've ever heard from them. So 3 of them are on this album, and 1 of them is on some other album that I don't have. So B-52s. Then we've got Benny Grunch and the Bunch as Wild Linoleum, Ain't No Place to Pee on Mardi Gras Day. If you've seen more of my videos, you'll know this is a local guy. He does humorous songs. Sometimes he takes famous songs and makes them localized to New Orleans. This one is all about like Mardi Gras stuff. There's Iko Iko, Carnival Time, Mardi Gras Mambo, all them parades, Go to the Mardi Gras, Ain't No Place to Pee on Mardi Gras Day. There's 2 versions of that on this. The Wild Linoleum, I don't know what that's supposed to be, and Over by Your Mama and Them. And that's a New Orleans saying. So then, we got more, guys. We got more. Got a whole stack of stuff. Okay, so then I went to the Bridge House store over the weekend, and I picked up a bunch of CDs. We're just going to go through them. All right, get them in position. We got the Melrose Place soundtrack. It has Amy Mann, Urge Overkill, Sam Phillips, Dinosaur Jr., Frente, Annie Lennox, Divinals, Seed, Letters to Cleo, James, and Paul Westerberg. This is a classic 90s soundtrack. Those are the people that won a lot of soundtracks back in those days. If you were into the alternative rock scene, those guys popped up all the time. Then I got, hold on. Got one out of order here, guys. Oh, there goes my light. Shoot. There we go. We're back in business. I'm missing one. Oh, here it is. Okay. So then I picked up 2 more albums by Guster. We got Lost and Gone Forever and Keep It Together. So now I have 3 Guster albums, and they're all sitting right here in front of me. I've never listened to them. I mean, like I said on my previous video, I think I saw them live on this album years and years ago. I thought at a festival. I think it was them. So I'm going to have to listen to those now that I got 3 of them and, get it together. So, next up, we got Sweet Relief 2, Gravity of the Situation. This is, I have the first one, which was dedicated to Victoria Williams, and I bought that on Record Store Day last time, I think it was. got the vinyl for that, but I had the CD all along. But this has Garbage, REM, Nancy Griffith and Hootie and the Blowfish, Soul Asylum, Dog's Eye View, Live, the Smashing Pumpkins and Red Red Meat, Sparkle Horse, Joe Henry and Madonna, Kristen Hirsch, Cracker, Indigo Girls, Mary Margaret O'Hara, Vic Chestnut, and Victoria Williams. She came on this one. And the songs, these are all the songs of Vic Chestnut, and it says Lavario Dulcus or something at the bottom right there. Haven't listened to this yet, but kind of cool that was it. This looks brand new. It was a punch out at some point, but it looks brand new. Then another one that was a punch out that I wanted to get just because I wanted the case, and that is Alice in Chains' self-titled album. This is called Tripod to some people. It's just Alice in Chains. I don't know why people have to put a name on it. But the reason I got this is because when this first came out, it came out with the purple and yellow case, and then there was an opposite where it was yellow and purple. Well, I bought the purple one first, and I remember this. I don't know why I did this, but I remember getting it. We went to McDonald's. It was me, my friend, my girlfriend at the time, and somebody else. We get in the line. I got my bag in my hand from the store, and I pull it out, and I start taking off the plastic, and when I did, it fell on the floor, and this part right here just cracked off, the bottom part of that, and I was like, oh man, I wanted this purple case because it's purple. I don't have any purple cases, and that was kind of a rare thing back then, and a kind of a gimmick as well. So I went back to the store to see if I could find another one. I could never find a purple one. I found the yellow one it was yellow here and then purple there, and so I bought that one too, just so I'd have a non-broken case. So and over the years, I've never seen a purple one again. I've always seen the yellow one. And so when I was in the store the other day, I saw this and I was like, oh man, it's the purple case. I got to get it. The CD itself looks like it might have a scratch on it, but I don't know if you're not going to be able to. Oh, maybe you can see it. You see that little right there. You see that? I don't know if that's going to affect the play, but I don't care because I already have the CD, but I just didn't have the case that was not broken. So silly purchase, I know, but it was $1. Then the Indigo Girls. Well, they're on that other CD, and I don't know too much about the Indigo Girls. I knew they had one hit song a long time ago. I don't know what it was, but I just remember them, and I figured the CD was in good shape, the case was in good shape, it had the hype sticker on it still, and I figured I'd give it a shot. I think they do like acoustic, kind of alternative, I don't know, maybe feminist kind of rock. I don't know. But anyway, then we picked up the Daredevil soundtrack. This has a lot of stuff on it. Fuel, The Calling, Saliva, Seether, Nickelback, Drowning Pool with Rob Zombie, Nappy Roots featuring Marcus Carrell of POD, Moby, Evanescence with Paul McCoy and 12 Stones, Chevelle, Who Was Stank, Palo Alto, shoot, that's hard to say, Revis, Boy Sets Fire, Autopilot Off, Grem Reveal and Mike Enzinger, Evanescence, Finger 11, Indo, and 12 Stones. I have albums by most of these bands, so it's like, hard, heavy kind of alternative rock stuff from the 90s, and Nickelback, whatever you want to say about them. Then this, I don't know what it is, but I just thought I liked the name of the band. It's the Backsliders, Throwing Rocks at the Moon. I don't know anything about them. I think they're like a country rock band, even though they look kind of like a hard rock band right there. But that was in nice condition as well, so I grabbed it. Then we've got Heart, The Road Home. I believe this is just the greatest hits. It may be live though, because it's got it's got the marquee there. It says backstage entrance, Heart, August 12th to 16th. So it could be live. I don't know. But it's got Dreamboat Annie, Dog and Butterfly, Up on Cherry Blossom Road, Alone, Back to Avalon, These Dreams, Love Hurts, Straight On, All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You, Crazy on You, Seasons, River, Barracuda, and Dream of the Archer. So it may be live. I don't know. I have a small heart collection going. The next one, something I never thought I'd ever buy, but I just went ahead with it. The Batman soundtrack from Prince. This CD is weird. You see those two black lines right there? I couldn't find any CD with black lines on it on Discogs. And then I'm looking at it, and it looks like almost like somebody might have wrote on it with a marker, like a Sharpie or something, because it's not a perfectly straight line. So maybe that's the reason I couldn't find it. But I don't know, because it's really, they did a really good job of stopping right at the edges there. So it looks like it was computer done almost, but who knows? Then two more. We've got Elvira presents Monster Hits, or Revenge of Monster Hits. Everybody loved Elvira back in the day. This one, there was this one, and there was a Wolfman Jack album, but the Wolfman Jack album did not have the CD in it, so I was aggravated because the cover of that one was like a lenticular thing where it changed shapes or whatever when you held it a certain way. But anyway, this one's got an introduction by Elvira, Haunted House by Elvira, It's Your Voodoo Working by Charles Sheffield, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman by the Tubes, Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon, Monsters Holiday by Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers, Weird Science by Oingo Boingo, Zombie Stomp by Elvira, and the Outro by Elvira. Ooh, look at her, looking gorgeous in there. Yep, she used to be gorgeous. Everybody had a crush on her. And she had big ones. And then lastly, for the CDs, we've got Buzz Ballads, Disc 1? I didn't even know I didn't even notice that when I grabbed this. And the only reason I grabbed this is because I thought it would be a quick way to listen to a bunch of 90s songs that I already own. So it's got Lightning Crashes by Live, Champagne Supernova by Oasis, If You Could Only See by Tonic, Glycerine by Bush, Doll Parts by Hole, Santeria by Sublime, Hemorrhage in My Hands by Fuel, A Long December by Counting Crows, Counting Blue Cars by Dishwalla, Linger by the Cranberries, Hanging by a Moment, Lifehouse. I think it's the only song I don't own the album on this. And I do have the MP3s of that, but I don't know if I have a physical copy of that. Runaway Train, Soul Asylum, Till I Hear It From You, Gin Blossoms, Here's to the Night, Eve 6, What Do I Have to Do by Stabbing Western, and Out of My Head by Fastball. So there is a volume 2, but I didn't see it, and I didn't notice that it said Disc 1 when I picked it up. I saw Buzz Ballads, and I knew that what it was going to be, so I flipped it over and I looked at it and I just put it in the basket, you know. And that was that. So we've covered the CDs and the 7 inches and the little bin thing, and now we've got a bunch of records to talk about. Nothing great. I would go as far as saying some of the stuff might be bad, but whatever. So on my last video, for when I said I went to the pawn shop, I mentioned that I had a record that I didn't know what it was, but I bought it because it looked interesting to me. So this is what it was. It's Clive Gregson, Strange Persuasions. And the reason that I've grabbed this, well, there's a couple reasons. Look at this. When I saw it, the stuff that it was in was a pile of crap. I mean, it was the CDs. I mean, the records were just trashed. They were water damaged. They were stuck together. They were just a mess. And then there was this sitting kind of in the middle. It wasn't at the front. It wasn't at the back. It was kind of in the middle, so it should have been stuck to something. And it wasn't. It looked brand new. And what made me want to get it is because that child right there has purple glasses drawn on her face. And I thought somebody just did that. That is the actual album cover, how it goes. So when I picked it up and started looking at it, the cover's pretty clean. I mean, it's got a little dirt right there in the back as well at the bottom. but it's not bent up too much. It's you know, it's a little nicking around, whatever. But overall nice. And then the record itself looked like it had never been played before. And so I was like, holy crap. And then I kind of was looking at it, and it said manufactured in England right there. And usually when I'm in the store, I don't look for that kind of stuff. But I was like, wait a minute, this might be an import. And sure enough, it is. Now, I looked this guy up. He's supposed to be a great guitar player. You know, influential even. Not on this. This album, it's kind of that singer-songwriter thing where you wish somebody else was doing the songs. Because I listened to it, just one so far, and there was like 3 or 4 songs that I was like, man, that would have been a really good song in the 90s if somebody would have covered it, you know, or just did it themselves. You know, and it could have been anybody, but they just kind of, you know, he's just singing the songs because he wrote them. They got, you know, good lyrics or whatever. There's no like amazing guitar playing on this as far as I'm concerned, but you know, it's just, you know, some I don't know if it was worth anything, but it's definitely you know, an import. So then, and I got that at the pawn shop. Now these, I don't know where I got these, to be honest with you. I think I got all the rest of this stuff at the Salvation Army. I'm trying to look through it. No, I didn't get it all at the Salvation. Well, I don't know, guys. I bought something yesterday, actually, that wasn't there. I gotta pull them out. I don't know. I hope they're in this box because I don't want to do another video. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. So let's start with the next, these 3 that came from a different place, and then we'll go back. These all came from the Bridge House. They were $1. This is a cool one, I think. It's television theme songs from Mike Post, and it has Hill Street Blues, The Greatest American Hero, White Shadow, Magnum P.I., School's Out from Richie Brockman's Private Eye, and the Rockford Files. Now, I don't know the theme from the White Shadow and the School's Out one. I don't think I do anyway. But the theme from Hill Street Blues is great. The theme from Greatest American Hero, believe it or not, that's one of my favorite TV theme songs ever. So I just, I'm glad that that's on this. And then, you know, Magnum P.I. is good. And then theme from Rockford Files. So that's a good one, I think. Not worth too much. And then we've got this. And I don't really know what the name of it is, but it's a Notre Dame something or other. I'm going to open it so you can see what the inside looks like, because the cover is split at the top on both sides, I believe, yeah. But it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. The records are in great condition. The cover is not so much, but I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if it's just talking interviews or you know, game footage or whatever, but you know, I got it because the records are in such great condition that I couldn't leave it there. And I like football. I used to like Notre Dame back in the day when I was a kid. They at some point they were the only college to get a TV contract, and I didn't like that, so that's when I stopped liking them. Because I didn't think it was fair for them to be on TV every week and nobody else, because they weren't my favorite team. I just liked them. And then the next one was a surprise, because I almost left it there, because I don't usually. Sometimes I buy kids' albums, and sometimes, you know, if they're in good shape, I try to buy them, or if it's something that I remember having. But I don't even know what this movie is. Oliver and Company. I recognize this dog right here, and I like the art. But I had no idea about what was on this. And this record's expensive. I think the high end on this on Discog is like $71. The mid-range is like $34, $35, something like that. So this is above mid-range. I mean, there's a little bit of ding right there on the cover, but the record itself is brand new. It looks brand new. There's no inner sleeve, though. And I don't know if it came with one or not. But the record itself looks great. But this has Bette Midler, Huey Lewis and the News, or just Huey Lewis maybe. There's Once Upon a Time in New York by Huey Lewis. Why Should I Worry by Billy Joel. Streets of Gold by Ruth Pointer. And I don't know if that's the Sting song or something new. Perfect Isn't Easy by Bette Midler. And the rest of them are either instrumentals or stuff people I don't know. But I guess it must have been a short run or something. But I grabbed it and didn't think anything of it when I got wherever I was going. I just pulled out my phone and looked at Discogs, and I was like, "Oh man, that's an expensive record that I got for $1." Then the rest of these came from the Salvation Army. They were all either $1 or 50 cents, because there's one day they had a 50-cent record sale or something. So, but most of them were $1. So we'll just go with that. And I may have shown some of these before, but I can't remember. So we're gonna go with it again. The Heartbreakers, 20 Heartbreaker hits. And when I first picked it up, I was like, "Holy crap! Is that like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers?" It's not. It's just love songs, by people from the 60s and 70s, I guess, maybe 50s as well. The Great Pretender by the Platters. It's All in the Game by Tommy Edwards. Donna by Richie Valens. I'm going to skip some of these. Since I Fell for You by Lenny Welch. I'm Sorry by Brenda Lee. That's a good one. You've Lost That Love and Feeling by the Righteous Brothers. Monday by Mamas and Papas. Sunday Will Never Be the Same by Spanky and Our Gang, the Little Rascals. Angel of the Morning by Merrily Rush. I know a different Angel of the Morning. Maybe it's the same song. Hey There, Lonely Girl by Eddie Holman. The Way We Were by Gladys Knight and the Pips. And that's all I know on that. Then we've got Good Friends Are for Keeps, the 100th year celebration album, America Sings of Telephones. Now that's weird. But it's in great shape. It still had the shrink wrap on it. It was open, but the wrap is on it. The record looks great. Somebody was selling it for $3 at one point, but I got it for either $1 or 50 cents. And it's just songs that involve, I guess, telephone lyrics or something. Pennsylvania 65000. It must be him. Call me. Hello, mama, my baby. And this is all like Glenn Campbell, Fifth Dimension, Johnny Rivers, Petula Clark, Glenn Miller, Dinah Shore. So it's old stuff, but good. So we found a $1 Million Memories. Somebody was selling that for $5 at some place at one time. And it has Run Around Sue by Dion, One Fine Day by the Chiffons, The Wanderer by Dion. I love that song. He's So Fine by the Chiffons, I Wonder Why by Dion and the Belmonts, A Little Bit of Soul by Music Explosion, A Little Bit of Soap by the Jarmels. Records in good condition. Covers a little beat up. Then we've got a band that's kind of sucks, but they're from Louisiana, so I try to, if I could find them, I grab them. And they're called LaRue. They were, the people in the back covers messed up. It was stuck to something. Something was stuck to it. I think I can get most of this off if I play with it enough, but I don't know. I'm not even worried about it, because the only song they had that was worth it was New Orleans Ladies, or New Orleans Lady, or whatever it is. That people play at weddings for some reason. I don't know why. It's not a wedding song. But anyway, that one, record is dirty, but it looks like it's in good shape. I may listen to it once. To be honest with you, I don't like them. Then we've got the Miami Vice soundtrack, which is a great soundtrack. It's so 80s, it's crazy. My friends got on me because I made fun of the instrumentals, because they were like, "Oh, that guy's great," or whatever. But it has the Miami Vice theme by Jay and Hammer, and that is the first one is the one I want, because that's the theme song and it was good. Then we've got Smuggler's Blues by Glenn Frey, You Belong to the City by Glenn Frey, In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Then we've got, on the second side, we've got a Miami Vice, again, instrumental. Different version, I guess. There's Better Be Good to Me by Tina Turner. And then the last three songs, I skipped a couple of them, I think. The last three songs are instrumentals in there, and it skips on the, I think, either second to last or the last song, there's a skip in it. But those songs were not doing anything for me anyway, so if I'm gonna, when I listen to this, I'm probably not even gonna worry about those last couple songs. Then we've got this. The good part's still there, but the bad part got torn off some kind of way. The record's in good shape. But this is Groovy by Sandy Nelson. And I don't know if it's the song. I think it is. But there's Sugar Sugar, which we know the Archie's version. So I don't know if this is that same version by him, the real person that did it, or a different one. And then there's Groovy Grubworm, which I may know. I don't know. But I got it because I wanted to hear Sugar Sugar what that one sounds like. And then they put a little Love in Your Heart may be also something or other, because I don't know. But anyway, you got the pretty girl on the front. The logo and album name is off to the side somewhere. They got torn off. But you know. Then I've got another album by this band, The Association's Greatest Hits. Found this one laying around the store randomly. The cover is trashed. The CD, I keep saying CD. The record itself is in pretty good shape. It's got the lyrics on the back. It's got Windy, which is the song I know. Cherish, I think I know that one as well. Along Comes Mary. And that's probably all I know from them. I do have one of their other albums, but it was so scratchy and pops and crackles, I had to turn it off when I got it. Then my buddy, love this guy. I don't know why. Freddie Fender. This one also was in the shrink still. Open, but in the shrink. Most of the shrink, as you can tell right there. I don't know if you can see it, it's peeled off. But this is Before the Next Teardrop Falls. Look at that suit, guys. That's the reason you buy this. Right there. But Roses Are Red, I'm Not a Fool Anymore. Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. Yeah, that song. I Almost Called Your Name. Before the Last Teardrop Falls. And that's all I know by him. But he's pretty good. Then we've got Glenn Campbell, By the Time I Get to Phoenix. This one, I like Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy. That was my favorite song when I was a kid. I don't know any of the songs on this, but I do like Glenn Campbell. He's for as far as country goes, he's a good guy. As far as that goes. Then I remember a couple weeks ago I had shown that I got a copy of Whipped Cream and Other Delights, and it had a different album in it. It was like the perfect cover, and it had the wrong album in it. It had South of the Border in it, and I was praying that South of the Border, when I found this, would have that album in it, and it did. It has South of the Border in it. But this is a really nice cover, still shrink wrapped, open. All these ones were open that were shrink wrapped, but it's partial shrink wrapped, I should say. But Herb Alpert's Tijuana Brass, South of the Border. I've seen a lot of different Herb Alpert. I don't know how many albums this guy put out. I've seen a bunch of them lately. I don't really pick them up. I got this one because I wanted to hopefully get the other album, but it wasn't in there. And since it was in great shape, I took it. And then we've got another Glenn Campbell, the Wichita Lineman. I know this one was 50 cents. I know it. I remember it. This one's got Wichita Lineman, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. And that's the only ones I know for that one. So, another Glenn Campbell, Greatest Hits, Wichita Lineman, I'm sorry. And it's got the Gold Record Award. Almost finished, guys. We only got about 8 more to go. Get you out of this video in less than 50 minutes. And then this one I thought was hilarious, and I have so many questions, and I had to buy it. That is Molto Italiano by Johnny Puello and his Harmonica Gang. Volume 3. Harmonica Gang. Were there gangs of harmonica playing people? I don't know. Audio Fidelity Stereo Disc. I don't know if this is going to play. I don't know what this is. The highest standard in high fidelity, a revolutionary advance in listening pleasure. Harmonica gangs. Can you imagine going out in the streets in the, I don't know, 60s, 70s, whenever this came out, and being attacked by a harmonica gang? Oh my God. But anyway, look, it's got this whole description of what the hell stereophonic sound is, and then the write-up of the album. So like this part right here on this half is like, has nothing to do with the album. The album is on this side, and it's in there, and it's got its own little sleeve. Excellent condition. I have not played this yet, but I am so curious as what the hell a harmonica gang played. And this is volume 3. Look at that guy. What? Looks like your crazy uncle. So anyway, he looks like a character that would be on Sesame Street or something with his harmonica gang. Grover would have to stop him, I'm sure. Super Grover would have to stop him. Then we've got 2 by a band. One that I bought the record and it had the wrong record in. And I saw a couple more of their albums, but I didn't buy them yesterday, and I didn't buy them. Or Saturday, I should say. The Julius Wechter and the Baja Maramba Band. And those guys just look like a Mexican gang or something from, a cowboy gang. So, maybe not Mexican, but, well, they got the sombreros, so maybe. But, old school Western movie gang. That's what they look like. Posse, maybe. And then on the back, they look like they're coming in from, through New York or something. But they're still wearing the gear. So anyway, Julius Wechter and the Baja Maramba Band, Foul Play. They also have a song on here, Along Comes Mary. I don't know any of the songs. There's Windy Again. I don't know if these, Fiddler on the Roof. So these are probably all cover songs. And then I grabbed another one by the same, For Animals Only. And this one had Puff the Magic Dragon, Yellow Bird, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, La Cucaracha, A Partridge in a Pear Tree, The Last of the Red Hot Llamas, and others. And when I pulled it out, the record was in great shape. But it's the wrong one. It's just Baja Maramba Band. It doesn't have those songs on it. So I saw some of their albums again. I've never heard of this before, but I was all of a sudden see like 4 records at this other store, and I didn't want to buy them unless they were either one of these, because I need a cover for that one and I need the actual record to go in that one. So we'll skip on that. 3 more and we're out of this video. The next one, a weird one for me. John F. Kennedy. It's John Fitzgerald Kennedy, 1917 and 1963. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. A memorial album. His most famous speeches and comments by Barry Goldwater, Aldi Stevenson, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, Pope John Paul the 23rd, and Sir Alec Home. So I'm not a political person or anything like that, but JFK had some famous lines, so I'd just like to hear them. Then we've got 2 more that are the kind of weird things. I don't really know what they are, but it's Sonic Arts Library Series, Woofers and Tweeters and All That Jazz. And this is a jazz album. It's only got 4 songs on it. It's a gatefold as well. Record's in real nice condition. There's a little thing in here. Excuse me. A little booklet. Is it a booklet? explaining something. Binaural sound. We were big on the sound back in the day. It's kind of like some of those guys on the internet that give you problems every time you post something about a repress or your system or whatever telling you you're inferior. Well, this record must be inferior because it's got that in there. But anyway, it's got 4 songs, so this must be just to sample your speakers, I guess. Lab Series number 7. We will, whatever. I haven't listened to it. Probably never will. Then we've got New Sound Stereo Time Series 2000. For Those Who Dare, the exclusive sound extra. And I don't know if this one's a gatefold or not. No, it's not. It does have... No. And then it's just got all this stuff on the back. I don't know what this is. It's got the cool inner sleeve, which is in color, which is most of the ones I have like this are not in color. And then the record is filthy, but it's got Patricia by Cha-Cha, the Cha-Cha for Dancing, Limehouse Blues, My Funny Valentine. These are, I don't know what this is, guys. Get Happy, All the Things You Are, A Medley Anchors Away, and Marine's Hymn. El Relicario? Fascinating Rhythm, Moonlight Becomes You, Domino, Easy to Love, and Softly as in a Morning Sunrise. And I don't know, this doesn't really credit people, it just tells you what they are, like what kind of sounds they are. So I guess they just did use different instruments and played songs on that. Anyway, that's it. That's a lot of stuff that I picked up. Nothing real exciting. I mean, the Oliver and Company was a good find as far as value goes. The CDs I think I did pretty good with those. Nothing too exciting. I think the Alice in Chains is probably the best one, but like I said, I already had that. I just didn't have that case that wasn't cracked. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Way too long, 47 minutes, 30 something seconds, and that's it. I'll be back soon with something else. Bye.